Ne Zha 2 is a sequel to Ne Zha and is a new Chinese animation that's really taken the world by storm. Also, I apologize in advance if I mispronounce a lot of characters' names. I'm doing my best over here, but admittedly I will probably get some things wrong, just saying it ahead of time. This movie takes place not long after the events of Ne Zha. Ne Zha and Ao Bin are working to get their bodies back. They were reduced to spirits at the end of the first movie. During the process in which Ne Zha's body is restored, Ao Bin's is not, the entire village that they live in comes under attack. Ao Bin's spirit then enters Ne Zha's body, so now it's basically the two of them kind of trying to work together to pull off this task, because now they're gonna go and become immortal in order to find a way to save the town from being destroyed and all the people in it, namely Ne Zha's family. This movie has become such a worldwide phenomenon. It's kind of crazy. Like, this movie has become the highest grossing animated movie of all time. It's one of, what, 7 or 8 movies ever to make over $2 billion. And the fact that the movie was able to do that prior to getting a really wide US release is kind of crazy. Like, that is how big it was in just China itself. Like, enough to become the biggest animation movie of all time. What? And then recently, A24 of all companies got the distribution rights to release an English dubbed version of this movie. And once that was announced, I was like, well, yeah, I gotta go see this movie now. I gotta see what all the hype is. After seeing Ne Zha 2, I gotta say, the hype, very much justified. Starting with Ne Zha as a character, what I like about him is, like, so he was meant to be this demon of sorts, and what I like seeing with him is, yeah, he is a demon, and he's mischievous, he's kind of a little shit at times, but what I love seeing in his character is he really wants to do good. Like, he doesn't want to be what he was made for. He doesn't want to hurt people. He doesn't want to destroy lives. He wants to do good. He wants to be a protector. He wants to be a hero. And that's really great to see in him. I like that the story in this one kind of plays off of what the main theme was in the first movie. It's like, don't let anyone else decide your fate. You get to decide your fate. Also, what they continue from the first movie, Ao Bin and Ne Zha's relationship, I think it's awesome here. Because what I like with the turn they take in this one is they both are, in a sense, sharing the same body. Well, not really. I mean, Ne Zha has full control of his body. He just has moments where he can allow Ao Bin to take over if they need the more pure, spirited, good side to be in effect in order to, you know, fool people that Ne Zha's a demon. But I love seeing their friendship. I love seeing their chemistry. I love seeing the way they play off one another. They kind of feel like it's like two sides of the same coin. They're connected, but they're different. Also, getting into the story of this movie, I actually appreciate that the story wasn't as cut and dry as I thought it was going to be. Like, you think it's like, okay, Ne Zha's gotta go through the series of trials in order to save his town, in order to get Ao Bin his own body back, but it's not just like that. I mean, the trials that he has to undergo for himself, they test him very physically, very mentally, but there's also a lot of moments in this movie where the movie takes a complete turn to the side that you were not expecting. Like, you think the story's going a straight line, then it takes a left, and then it takes a right, and it's all over the place, and you're just like, okay, wasn't expecting a lot of this. I would say that is a little bit of a flaw that I have with the story, too. The story and the world in Ne Zha is very big. There's a lot of lore they're covering here. As a result, it can be a little overwhelming at times, especially if you have not seen the first Ne Zha. I do appreciate what this movie does. Like, the very beginning kind of sums up what happened at the end of Ne Zha. Like, kind of like gives you the short version of that leading into this one. However, it does help seeing the first Ne Zha because it shows a little bit more of the lore and a little bit more of the history behind these characters and essentially what has been leading to this moment. So yeah, watching the first one does help you get some clarity in the history of this world and, you know, a lot of the lore behind it. However, there's still a whole lot more that they cover in this movie. As a result, is it a long movie? Yeah, I think it's around like 2 hours and 20 minutes, maybe a little longer than that, maybe a little shorter than that, I don't know off the top of my head, but as a result, does the movie feel a little bit long at times? Yes, but do you understand the length? Yes. Like, it's one of those long run times that earns its running time because you are trying to keep up with a lot of lore that's going on, with a lot that needs to be absorbed, a lot of stuff that's going to matter later in the story. Undeniably though, it does feel a little bit slow at times and I can't ignore that. Also, this being, well, meant to be a family movie anyway, how's the humor in this? Humor didn't always hit with me. In fact, the humor never totally worked for me. Like, there were moments that made me chuckle, there were moments that made me smile, there were never moments where I was like crying, laughing, or anything like that. But I will also say there were quite a few moments where I was like, okay, that's kind of childish and dumb. That's kid humor. Like this being a family movie, you know, parents are gonna bring their kids to go see this, and I'm sure there are moments in this movie where they make some really stupid little kid joke, and the kids will love it, and adults are gonna be sitting there kind of like, all right, whatever. That's not my time anymore. But I will say this much: when this movie goes for the emotion, when it goes to turn on like the heavy moments and the moments that are meant to hit you where you live, it really does that. There are moments with certain characters, certain pivotal points in the storyline where something happens and the characters are really selling it, the voice acting is really selling it, and I'm gonna tell you right now, were there sniffles in my audience? Yes, there absolutely were. So I do give the movie credit that it knew when to be funny, albeit maybe not as effectively, but it also knew when to be emotional, and they really hit it there. But yeah, let me get into the big thing right here. The animation and the action scenes in this movie, holy fucking shit, they are spectacular. Like the animation, it's some of the best animation I've maybe ever seen. I got to see this movie in IMAX 3D, and let me tell you guys, totally worth it. The animation just looks absolutely beautiful. The color scheme, the way certain settings look, how they portray the world, different realms, different spirits, different sort of action moves here and there. It's pretty incredible. And yeah, the action sequences themselves, I mean, this is right up there in terms of action that has really blown me away in an animated movie. This is right up there with the Spider-Verse movies. I mean, the things that certain characters can do, the certain abilities that characters have, I mean, you feel the impact of a hit, you feel the impact and the magnitude of the power of certain characters. It leads to some absolutely epic action sequences, especially in like the final act of this movie. Holy shit, that was amazing. Undeniably amazing. Like, I think that for me was the moment that hit. When they really let the animation get its chance to really shine and show us things that we could only see in animation, at least to this extent. And when the action's going down and characters' powers are really getting their chance to be shown rather, and serious shit's going down, the fight sequences are just going on between a bunch of different characters. Those were the moments I saw that and I was like, yeah, I can see why this is the highest grossing animated movie ever now. And that's what I will say. The movie does a very good job at sucking you into its world, getting to care about the characters, and as a result of that, it is a franchise. Well, I mean, it's 2 movies in, so I don't know if it is a franchise at this point, but let's just say it is. It's a type of franchise that I do think can appeal to a worldwide audience, and as a result of that, if they continue to make more movies, which undeniably they're going to. I mean, you don't make this much money and not make a sequel. It has me excited to see more. It has me excited to see where else they can take it. And more than that, I want to say this right now. It's a type of animated movie that should make some Hollywood studios, like Disney, a little bit nervous. I mean, I've talked about this more times than I can count, but Disney has seen a lot of its projects flop, not make as much money, especially in the animation department. I mean, someone pointed out a very interesting stat. Disney hasn't won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, something they have excelled in for a long time, I think since what, 2020? And seeing the way animation has gone this year, I'm willing to bet they're also not going to win it this year. So when they say a movie like Nesha 2 is monumental and will shake the entire world, I believe that shit. It's gorgeous animation, it's powerful action sequences, great story that they bring to the characters, and the fact that it was a massive success and didn't even need an American release to be that, it should make the other companies in the movie industry rethink their strategy a little bit and make them go, all right, we gotta take our shit a little bit more seriously if we're gonna compete with shit like this. So all in all, Nesha 2, it was pretty badass. Nesha's a great character. You're completely on board with him. You see a flawed but good person in him. You want to see him become the hero that he wants to be, that he wants his fate to be for himself. I appreciate the story. It's a little heavy with lore. As a result, it can slow the film down a little bit, make it feel a little long at times. Not all the humor worked. The emotional aspect of this movie absolutely hit home in quite a few different areas. The animation is absolutely beautiful. The action sequences are an absolute blast. Both of them together are just epic. It was a type of movie that I was afraid going into it I would find it overrated and overhyped, but nope, I completely understand why it's been the success that it's been. And in the end, I'm happy I finally checked this out, and I'm happy it's done as well as it's done because I want to see more of Nesha. I want to see where else this franchise can go, and I hope that gets some American release down the line as well. I'm gonna give Nisha 2 an 8 out of 10, which makes this movie worth buying on physical home media.
Shut up and take my money.
I know, I've been giving that rating quite a bit lately, but I mean, what can I say? If a movie deserves it, it deserves it. So, guess I'll just be needing more shelf space pretty soon. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, definitely leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.